And I'd like to start off with some music this morning. It's by Omkara, and the name of the song is called Let Our Name Be Amen. It's a beautiful song, and we'll start the meditation right after that.
Let our lives be timeless gratitude and mighty joy. Let our hearts be great peace and Holy Spirit. Let our name be Amen, 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 Amen. Om of existence, keep this life inside you. Hide me in your heart, merge me in your being. Let our name be Amen, 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 Amen. Oh, one and only, you are our sole refuge, light of our hearts, the source of true love. Let our name be Amen, 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 Amen.
That song was by Omkara, Let Our Name Be Amen. It's a beautiful song. I love her voice and just the heart behind it. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to meditation this morning. It's Monday morning, October 26th, and I don't meditate on Sundays. Well, I do meditate on my own. I don't lead it on Mondays, so I always look forward to Monday morning so that I can get back with it. So thank you for joining. Thank you. So just closing your eyes, taking in a nice deep breath, and just allowing yourself to be present in this moment. And just really letting go of any stress, any worries, any tension at all. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, any of it. Just releasing it, letting it go. And there's nowhere that you need to go. There's nothing you need to do. And just letting go of any agenda for this meditation or any intention. And although I've used intention a lot in my life, quite honestly, I had been listening to Muji about intention creates tension. And I find the more that I just really let go of my need for life to look a certain way, and I trust life, I trust God, I trust the universe to bring exactly what I need when I need it. The more I have trust and faith in that, I see that I don't need to put my agenda, my intentions out there, that I can just really flow with life. And so I find myself just getting out of the way more and more to know that life is enough. It's everything I need. You are enough. I am enough. And beyond all those crazy thoughts and beliefs, the truth of who we are resides right here, right now, in this moment, and in every moment. So just bringing your attention to your breath and just allowing the breath to happen. It happens without any effort on our part, without any trying, without any doing. And that's one of the beautiful things about focusing on the breath, because it takes us out of the trying, the effort, the doing. All we're simply doing is just witnessing the breath. That's all. We're just a witness to it. We're just observing it without any judgment, without needing to change or fix it or get rid of it. And that's true for our thoughts, our beliefs. It's true for life. When life presents itself in each moment that it does, we have a chance to fight against it. We have a chance to reject it, push it away, correct it, try to manipulate it so that we're happy. Or we have a chance to just simply accept that life has presented this situation, and to remember and trust and have faith that life and God are on our sides. And although I know the mind doesn't always think that life and God are on our sides, when you look around at the craziness of the world, but is it the craziness of the world, or is it the craziness of our mind? And Eckhart Tolle once said that the situation is never the problem. Only our reaction to the situation is. And there's so-called bad things that can happen in the world where some people are totally distraught with it, and there's others that are completely at peace with it. And I don't mean in a way that they don't care. I mean they accept this situation, they embrace it, and they learn and grow from it in whatever it needs, if it needs to teach them something. But they're at peace with it. There's not a fight or a struggle against it. And that's why it doesn't matter what happens in life, peace is always available. And even deeper is that you are that truth. You are that peace. And the true self needs nothing to be any different than what it is to experience that peace. And that peace is the thing that we have all been searching for all of our life. The peace, the joy, the love. You are all of those things. And I know what the mind has to say. Trust me, I know. We all know. That how can that possibly be so? You're telling me, Brett, that I have all the peace, joy, and love I need right now in this moment. Yes, I am telling you that. And I'm telling you that, but notice the pushback of the mind, of the ego that says that's not true. And who is the witness? Who is perceiving that thought that says this is not true? The mind speaks out and convinces you that there's so much more you need to do. When you accomplish this, and this, then you'll be happy, or maybe you'll be happy. But you never reach that moment when you're happy if you're coming from the mind. That point never arrives, because when you achieve those things, if you do, the mind will always have more things waiting for you, because it's convinced that there's more things that need to be done in order to be happy. And Jesus said, the kingdom of God is at hand. It's right here, right now. And how can that be so? By recognizing that you are not the mind, you are not the thoughts behind the mind, and so you are not your beliefs. You are not the one believing the thoughts to be true. Because the mind will rattle off all kinds of things that are wrong and chaotic and disharmonious in our lives and in the world. But what relevance is that? What is the mind? Osho described the mind as a giant recorder, recording experiences from the past. And then, of course, we label those things that we've recorded as good or bad. And that is our ego. All these beliefs, all these ideas based on those past experiences, based on those past memories, that we've concocted ideas and self-images of who we think we are, which is the very thing that blocks us from realizing who we are. How is that? Because if you're believing that you are your thoughts, if you're believing that you are your mind, then you can never transcend the thoughts, the beliefs, the feelings, the mind. But the question is, who is it that is aware of the thoughts, the beliefs, the feelings? Who perceives all of it? Who perceives all the physical in the world? Your physical mind, your physical body. But all these things that we talk about will all someday fade away. All of it, the beliefs, the thoughts, the memories, the past experiences. And certainly we don't have to worry about the future, which is a fear of the unknown. And that just adds to the chaos in our minds, to keep our minds busy so that we can't experience the stillness and truth of who we are. Be still and know that I am God. But it's difficult when we're listening to the mind and we're looking to the mind to solve all of our problems. If you're looking to the mind to solve all your problems, what's going to happen? The mind is going to get incredibly busy. You will not be able to experience the stillness because you're basically looking to your mind as if it is your God, the one you're worshiping, the one you are believing. And as long as you do that, you will prevent yourself from recognizing the truth of who you are. It's really that simple. And yet the mind makes it so complicated. So when I say it's simple, that can perhaps be frustrating for some people, because of course from our mind and our ego and where we're at, a lot of times it doesn't feel simple. I understand that. It can feel very complicated and hard. And that's okay. I invite you to notice that thought as well and just allow that thought to pass on by. And the reason we empty out all these thoughts and ideas of who we are not is really about quieting the mind. The more we look to the mind for solutions and answers, the busier the mind will be. But what will happen if we begin to just allow the thoughts to gently pass on by and not buy into them as the truth of who we are? Because again, if that is the truth of who we are, then who is the one observing those thoughts, observing those beliefs? When you get angry with somebody and you say, I'm so angry, I just want to chew this guy out, or maybe you want to punch him in the nose or whatever. So you have those thoughts and then you say, I am so angry. Really? Who is so angry? Who had the thought? And if it is you that is so angry, then who is the you that is aware of that anger? Who is the you that realizes it's not the best thing to go up and punch that person in the nose or to chew him out? Because you say, I am angry and I want to punch the guy in the nose. Probably most of you listening will not want to do that. You probably don't have much violence left. I wanted to punch many guys in the nose over the years, though. But if you are that thought, that belief. Who is the one that is perceiving that? You see, because your thoughts, your beliefs, your body, your mind cannot perceive any of it. It cannot witness any of it. You, the true you, is able to witness, meaning objectively look at all of it without any blame or judgment. You just are noticing it. Just like the breath. There's no need to judge the breath or to try to get rid of it. Like I was saying earlier, there's no judgment involved. That's why it's such a perfect tool when we're just using the breath to just simply witness it. But you can do the same thing with your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings. Wow. I'm feeling so angry right now. Who is it that is feeling angry? Because if you are the anger, then who is the one witnessing the anger? Man, I'm so frustrated with life. If you are the one who is frustrated, who is the one that is witnessing, observing the frustration without any need to change it or fix it? Because you have that choice. You have that choice when you say, I am frustrated. You are connecting with your small self, your ego self. The ego that needs things to be a certain way, that wants to be right. But it's not just about arrogance. The ego is the personality, all these ideas and beliefs of who you have thought yourself to be. But until you empty out all those ideas and self-images of who you think you are, they will only get in the way of recognizing who you truly are, which is beyond the thoughts, beyond the beliefs. So if you haven't already done so, just letting go of all these ideas and beliefs about who your small self thinks you are. Just letting them go. Letting go of any and all control of this meditation and of life in general. Because who is in control? Who wants to be in control? Is it you? Or is it your mind and your ego that believes life needs to go a certain way in order for you to be happy? When you hook into this idea that says life needs to go this way in order for me to be happy, to be at peace, to be in my heart, then you are playing a victim to life. Then you give your power away to another person, another situation, because you're saying, until this changes, I'm not going to be happy. I can't be at peace. Why would you want to give your power away, though? Do you need a certain president in order to be happy? Because if you do, then certainly you have given your power away. You have given your peace away. You have given your joy and your love away. And you have empowered the mind, the thoughts, the beliefs that say, no, I need to fix or correct this before I can be happy. And if we're being honest, probably most people go through their whole life waiting for certain things to change in order to be happy. And they may try to change them. They may try to control it. They may try to manipulate. They may even do good things that does change some things, and that's good, that you make changes in your life that move you towards peace, joy, and love. But I'm offering you a deeper choice that transcends any of those thoughts and beliefs that say you are not love and peace and joy right now in this very moment and in every present moment. Life truly can be a struggle if we are needing the situation to be different than what it is. If you look at the Eckhart Tolles, the Mujis, the Sadhgurus, Deepak Chopras, they still see that there are things that are disharmonious in the world, but they recognize that they are not that disharmony. The disharmony is when people are trying to fix or change situations that they cannot fix or change. So then it simply comes down to either you accept the situation or you reject it. If you reject it, there will certainly be stress and suffering that come along with it. If you accept it, you can be at peace and flow with the situation and learn from the situation. But you know you are a witness that you are not that situation, nor are you any beliefs or feelings about that situation. When you flow with life, life can be and is totally on your side. And those beliefs that would have you, those thoughts that would have you believe that life needs to be different, that is the trap. That is what traps you into the suffering of life. So I invite you to let go of anything that you're holding onto in life. All your material possessions, and the money that you have, just letting go of your need to hold on to it, because we think that we need to hold on to all these things in order to be happy. And I'm not saying you choose to get rid of these things. I'm inviting you to just surrender, give it all over to life, give it all over to God, so that God can bring you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. And by putting all this effort forth in holding on to your money, your car, your home, even holding on to life itself. And the irony of that is, you are life. And you cannot get rid of you. You can let go of, the ego can let go of holding on to life as if it needs to hold this tight grip on it, but it's putting forth energy that is unnecessary. And you hear about people who have been saved. And usually you hear that, from Christians that speak of that they've been saved by Jesus. What is that? It's the same thing you can do with God, or your other teachers can provide the same experience, and that is when you fully give yourself over to God, to life, to Jesus, or if you want to Buddha. But it's giving over everything you have, everything you are, and trusting that you will be taken care of in this process. And if you have not done that before, it's an incredibly freeing process. I've completely given myself over to God, and there's not one single thing that I need to be any different about life. Now, with that said, I'm also conscious and aware of the busyness of my mind and my ego that say that there are plenty of things I need to be different. And there's plenty of things that my mind, my ego believes God needs to change in order for me to be happy. But connecting with the true self of who I am right now, I don't need anything to be different, nor do I ask God to make anything different for me. And many times even that we've prayed so hard for what we want. And I invite you to let go of all of your attachments to wanting or needing anything. And I assure you that it is a beautiful and freeing process. It's where true freedom lies. Freedom is not an idea or a concept. You can be locked in a cage and still be free. But if your mind if your mind is the trap, then it will not experience freedom and needs the situation to be different than what it is. The inspirational speaker and prisoner of war, Charlie Plumb, was a prisoner of war for, I believe, 6 years. And he lived in an 8-foot by 8-foot cell during that time. And when he first had contact, which was quite some time before he had contact with another prisoner, they had a little secret code that they used. And when this other prisoner asked Charlie how he was doing, he said, "How do you think I'm doing? I'm locked in this cell for years, and this is my life." And the captain responded to him, "You are not a prison in the cell. You are a prisoner of your mind." I'm inviting you right now to step beyond the prison of the mind. I'm inviting you just to completely let go, completely surrender your life over to whatever that higher power is for you, if you have one. And if you don't have one, just surrendering it over to your divine self, your authentic self, your God self, if you will. And I invite you to let go of all of resistance to life itself. That is true surrender, when you let go of all your attachments, all your resistance to life. And if you have any resistance that you feel you can't get rid of, any heaviness that you feel you can't get rid of, I invite you just to suspend it and set it to the side Or if that doesn't work, just to be fully present with it. Don't resist it at all. Just be present with the pain, with the frustration, with the disappointment, whatever that resistance is. Resistance is our need for life to be different than what it is. That's all. And if you can let go of your need to have anything change, then you can still make changes in your life, but it won't be out of fear or anger or hatred or desperation. It will be out of the stillness and out of the true essence of who you are. And we're going to begin to segue into the stillness and segueing into just simply being aware of your breath. As I said before, you don't need to do anything with the breath. It happens all by itself. You're just simply observing it. That's all. You're just being aware of it. And in that witnessing, in that awareness, the mind sometimes gets busy and has thoughts. As soon as you are aware of the thought, just allow it to gently, easily, and effortlessly pass on by and come back to being aware of your breath. And if your mind has drifted, just simply come back to being consciously aware of your breath. And practice staying in the conscious awareness while you're observing the breath. And again, when the mind drifts, when you get caught in a thought stream, you don't need to follow it out or try to get rid of it or fight it or struggle any thoughts or any beliefs or any feelings. As soon as you are aware of it, just allow it to pass on by. Not denying any of it, just noticing it and allowing it to simply and effortlessly pass on by, and then come back to being aware and witnessing the breath. And if your mind has drifted, just coming back to being consciously aware of your breath. And if there's any heaviness or any stress or worries, any heaviness whatsoever left over, I just invite you just to let that go and just surrender even more fully into this present moment, which means to fully surrender into life itself. And if your mind has drifted, again, just coming back to being consciously aware of your breath, which brings you back to the present moment and brings you back home to who you are, the one who is consciously aware of the thoughts that come in and consciously aware of the breath, consciously aware of the feeling, consciously aware of the body. And just coming back to being aware of your breath. And you may notice, don't try, you may notice that you have lost the sensation of your physical body, which happens to me quite often in meditation. And just see if you notice that you are consciously aware without anything to do with the form or your body. You are beyond anything physical. Just see if you notice that you are consciously aware in a formless state. And if you are, great. And if you're not, great. Don't try, just notice. And if there's any thoughts that come up around it, just simply be aware of them, allow them to pass on by, and come back to being aware of your breath. And again, just coming back to being consciously aware of your breath. The more you practice just allowing the thoughts to simply and effortlessly pass on by, the more you begin to discreate them and discreate your reliance on the mind. And the mind can serve, but as our servant, not as our master. And then just come back to being aware of your breath. And we're going to begin to bring this meditation to a completion. If you would like to continue meditating, please mute or turn your device off. And thank you so much for joining me. And for those of you ready to finish, taking a nice deep breath in. And just make sure you're fully rooted and grounded back in your body. And just doing a little movement of the body, some stretches. And taking your time, and whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning, Monday morning. I'll be on again tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. Hope you have yourself a beautiful week. Thanks for joining. Namaste.